Edgar here. I'm going to do a bit of a follow-up on a previous video that I did where I was sort of asking the question, are gun people better people? I got a lot of response on that one, a surprising amount of response. And as I suppose you can imagine, since pretty much everyone who watches my videos is a gun person, they all agree that gun people are better people. I'm getting some pretty good anecdotes on that, but there is one story that I wanted to relate, aside from just the sheer goodness of the people with whom I've traded over the short period of time that I've been back into the gun world. There was one particular incident where I ended up getting the Makarov that I've shown in some of my other videos, the Bulgarian Makarov that's in really outstanding shape. Saw it advertised for $200, which was a heck of a price, and immediately responded to the fellow. So we set up a meeting and we showed up at a McDonald's parking lot. I wasn't there long, and the fellow who was going to sell it to me showed up right on time. He was in a very battered pickup truck. And when he climbed out, John was, a good old boy. He was a true Bubba. Had to weigh at least 250 pounds, although he was the same height as I am. Missing a couple of teeth, wearing the old farmer's overalls. The guy had the rough, calloused hands of a working man. In fact, he worked on a farm, raising the crops that we take for granted here. Most of us go to the store and pick them up, and we don't give any thought to the people like John who actually end up raising all that food for us. But anyway, he was a cheerful fella. He sort of figured out who I was for picking the gun up, and we got to chatting about different guns. Most of the people I know on the gun forum, they love to talk guns when they meet you. Perfect strangers, and they talk to you like you're a long-lost brother. It's actually quite a bit of fun. Anyway, he and I spoke for some length, and John was surprisingly eloquent. You look at a guy who's missing teeth, who's, a tank top, a little on the rough side. His truck had seen better days. He had seen some better days, rode hard and put away wet. Yet the guy could speak extremely well. Anyway, we left, and I went back home, checked out the gun, stripped it completely down. The thing was virtually new. So I had to write him a note, tell him how much I appreciated his selling that to me for such a good deal. And I had hoped that he wasn't going to regret letting it go. Well, he wrote me back an email, and I'd like to read it to you. Okay, these are his exact words. "I am just happy you were pleased. It is always easier to sell something you really like when you know the person who bought it has as high an opinion as you do. Enjoy." That's an exact quote, folks. I've just printed out what he wrote me. Punctuated, none of the cute little clever single U's for the noun, no single R's for the verb. Perfect punctuation. This is from a guy that all of our local university kiddies would snicker at if they ever saw him, although few ever would, because they wouldn't be where a man like John would be. They got to sit there in their cafes and sip their lattes. It's not just that gun people are better people. Gun people in a lot of cases are smarter people. Let me know what you think.